adventure. An unusual and exciting, typically hazardous, experience or activity. This is Central Utah, an epic adventure.
Hey everyone, Joshua Nestor, Trailsoffroad, and we're going to go to Utah for an epic overland adventure starting in mid-Utah, working our way through the Swell all the way down to Lake Powell, and it's going to be some of the most beautiful and scenic trails I've ever done in my life. Also, this is going to be some of the best camping. It's a 4-day trip, and we're going to actually add a little to it, and I can't wait to get going. So why don't you sit back, stay tuned, and enjoy this video.
This story starts the night before. I met up with Tony Pellegrino from Genrite, and we used the Trailsoffroad app to find a spot just north of Las Vegas that had some of the most amazing views I've ever seen. Well, we packed up our campsite and started to get moving. We decided since we're just driving the Jeeps, let's drive through central Utah and check out Zion. The views from Zion are absolutely amazing. It was actually hard to stay on the road. Beautiful colors, towering cliffs, just the kind of place that I'd love to just hang out and enjoy and just take in the sights for a couple days. It didn't take very long and we worked our way out of Zion. I will miss this drive as it was absolutely beautiful. On the way up, we stopped at a little store. I purchased a burrito. If you ever see me, ask me about that burrito. It's an interesting story. With a quick drive through Capitol Reef, we wanted to get to our destination for where we were going to meet up the night before. There, we met with Val Douglas in her epic full-size Bronco.
Oh yeah!
So the night before we decided to camp at Factory Butte, and it was like camping on the moon. It was so unique, so awesome. It's a must-do. Well, after a good night's rest, we were pumped and wanted to get going, so we met up with Paula and Mark, the Jeep and Gypsies, to start this exciting adventure.
Yo! Top of the morning to you. We're loaded up a little bit here, bro.
Just a little, looks like.
Yeah.
Just holy cow.
Yeah.
Someone left a piece of wood with a nail in it. It's stuck in my tire. Oh. Ugh. Tiny nail.
Well, with the group loaded up, we're about ready to get going. Time for a quick safety
meeting.
meeting.
Taking you remote, giving you a small taste of our gypsy life. There's a couple of you who have been on our adventures before.
First stop will be Butch Cassidy's signature. It's about 10 miles after we hit there.
So where we're at, stay the trail, and also don't run over any bushes so that we can keep that soil in its spot.
But let's go see what we can do with this one.
Yeah, so we're super excited, you guys. Let's go have an adventure.
Our adventure begins on Poison Springs Trail, but before that, we need to air down and get ready to go.
Giddy up, go time. Excited yet?
Do it. Let's do it.
And like that, we go down the trail. Never been down these trails before. I'm very interested to see what's ahead of us. It didn't take very long, and we worked our way into this nice little narrow canyon with stunning views. It was one of the most beautiful trails I've ever done. On top of that, a spring was filling the canyon as we were going down it, and the water is beginning to get deeper and deeper. Now the trail is called Poison Springs Trail, so best bet not to drink the water. It didn't take very long. They got out and they wanted to show us something.
A year ago, 1989. So this was actually carved when Butch Cassidy was 3 years old. So the fact that he carved this here means this was here first, like long before this was here.
Wow.
And everywhere you look, more pictographs, more unique things. And just out of nowhere, we drop out of the canyon and we're going down a cliff. It's like we were never in a canyon. It's insane how steep this hill was. Well, we made it to the Poison Springs crossing. The water itself wasn't very deep, which was a comforting sign. I have heard stories of people getting washed away at that crossing.
Liking the trail?
My Jeep's getting dirty.
Oh, hi, yeah, I warned you, Tony. I totally warned you, man. Yeah. I love it. It gets shiny for a minute. What do you think? A little different than the Mojave, huh?
Oh, yeah.
A little more scenic?
Well, after a quick lunch break, we're about to get moving again. For this next section of trail, we seem to be up on the edge of the cliff the whole time, and it was just stunning views as far as you can see. It was a little smoky that day because of some fires in California, but as you can see, you could see 20, maybe 30 miles, and it was just breathtaking. Well, we got the call for all stop, so we caught up to the leader and wanted to see what was going on.
Tony's ripping now. And the holder in the front? Isn't that weird?
Let's say, how many miles per gallon does this get?
Not many, bro.
Betty's on, honey?
It was interesting checking out the old boondock camp. Don't understand what the fridge is for, but hey, if you need one, you need one, I guess. Well, we're working our way up the cliff now to what I was surprised in some of the most stunning and spectacular views. We started working our way through the hills, up and down mountains, into valleys, and narrow tight canyons. The scenery was only getting better, but the day is getting long. They're telling us camp is not far. The idea of relaxing is sounding absolutely amazing right now, since it's technically day 3 on the trail.
So we done made her to camp. And we're gonna have a bonfire over that way. So if you like staying up late, I'd recommend being there. But if you wanna go to bed early, you should probably go over there or get out of here, because we're gonna be up for a little bit. All right, right?
Another dream awaits before you wake and rise. Now close your eyes and rest assured that the Lord...
At the campfire, we got to get to know everyone else that was traveling with us, and these are a great group of people. We had a lot of fun getting to know their back histories, their off-roading styles, and just what they like to do. The next day, we woke up, and we were excited to see what was ahead of us, as the previous day was just that amazing. We know there's a lot of beauty in this area, and for me personally, I've never seen it, so this has just been the most epic adventure I think I've done in a long time. So after taking this dirt road down this beautiful valley, next thing we know, we're on asphalt, right at the tip of Lake Powell. It's completely surprising and very cool. This meant this is a fuel point for us, so we could continue our adventure. So we ran into town, got supplies, got gas, and now we're heading off to our next destination. Anxious to see where this takes us. Yet, after driving through another amazing canyon, we turned off the road and started heading up the hill. As we climbed higher and higher in the hill, you could see further and further back, and the views just got better and better and better. Our trip had us backtrack through Escalante, and boy was it worth it. We went up the bird trail and then we entered this amazing canyon. I know, it's like I keep saying Amazing Canyon, but they never seem to end. Not far past that, we headed onto open plains, and we started to turn right and head down our next trail. So we ended up making a right down left-hand Collet Road, and this was a cool little canyon with a stream running down it. Not far up the trail was a cool rock formation that we had to stop and take a photo next to. Just something really unique, something you don't see often in your life, maybe never seen in your life.
Next stop will be camp for the night.
The day was getting really long and we were really tired, so the idea of setting up camp sounded absolutely amazing. Nothing like a campfire, some good music, and great friends. We're happy, and this is what it's all about. Living an adventure, finding new places, just to get out and enjoy life.
Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Same old song. Just a drop.
151625.
Well, the day has begun. We're looking forward to what today's adventures take us to. Let's get moving.
You hear that? We're on the way.
Because we camped in a remote location, we did have to backtrack a little bit the next day and get back to the main road. That's no big deal. Got to the main road, we started moving, a little bit dusty yet again, but we're still having an epic adventure. So as we're cruising down this road, we came across what is probably the best view I've ever seen. As you can see as far as you can, and it was just straight beautiful. I sort of wish we would have camped here. At the same time, I bet you this spot gets real windy.
Next to the tip, Josh. Wheels hit, turn your wheels.
Yeah, always turn your wheels. Park hard, dude. You have to park hard.
It's like
Should we
parkour.
park harder?
So I got a chance to check out Val's Bronco, and that thing is super sweet. I could see why it would be a blast to drive this thing down to Mexico. So after we left that epic photo spot, we started heading on the trail, and Mark jumped on the radio telling us, hey, use low gears, make sure your brakes work. You don't hear that very often. Basically what was going on is we were driving straight off the side of this plateau, and boy was it steep. So something unique that I thought was interesting, maybe it's because we live in the city or not, but along the route we actually passed by different layers of sediment, and one of those layers was a thick coal sediment, meaning this was once upon a forest that burnt down. It's interesting to think this was a forest. And two, it's interesting to see the different sediments with the coal sticking out of it. Well, we're moving down the trail, we're still dropping off this plateau, and boy, it is steep. The camera does not show you how steep this hill is. It's all about gears, going slow, and watching those corners. Paula jumped on the radio and said, hey, we're going to be heading out to Ostrom Point. I've never even heard of this spot. I see why. This is a popular spot to stop now. Unfortunately, the water levels at Lake Powell are extremely low, meaning when it's full, most of this valley is one giant lake. On the way out though, we did see a lot of wild animals, and that was very cool and very interesting to see. And to our surprise, we were already at camp, and after the long 5-6 days now it's been, camp was the perfect thing we wanted to hear. Well, as we're pulling in, things got a little bit funny.
Wedge! Only wedge!
So what happened is Mark was going down the beach. He hit some soft sand, but he was in four-wheel drive and was able to power out. The guys from Synergy, on the other hand, not the same story. They got down, they stopped because they were afraid of getting stuck, and, well, long story short, the second they tried moving, they just sank right to the frame rails, and now we had to do this recovery. Well, we got him out, and this was the perfect conclusion to a perfect day. It just brought up the humor, everyone's energy was up, we were just having a great time, and that's what it's about. Enjoying the adventure and just having a blast.
What happened there, Tony? What happened there?
Well, it's very deceiving where the sand is dry, and they got a little bit too low. They were following Mark. Mark almost got stuck, and they stopped for a second and just sank. So we just hooked up our worn winch with our Factor 55 closed loop system and got them out of there. We literally drug them sideways. It's so soft, they were sunk down to the axles. So good winching 101.
What happened?
A little stuck. Get a little too close to the water. Apparently it's all quicksand. A little bit of crust on top. We broke through the crust.
Well, with them safely recovered, we set up camp, started to relax, and enjoy Lake Powell. So something this video doesn't betray is that it's been very dusty the last 5 days. We're caked in dirt, and it's also about 95 degrees outside right now. So the idea of jumping in the water is about the point of legendary.
Okay, this is a song actually that I wrote 3 years ago, about 2 weeks from now, first time I went to Moab.
Well, the last morning is here. It's time to get going. On the way in, Tony and I noticed this cool little rock crop out that, we're out there. Want to go and drive on some rocks, add a little challenge to our trip, and also take some good photos for our vehicles. Nothing like testing out a brand new Jeep, see what it can do. Well, unfortunately, it is time to air up. Doesn't mean the adventure's over, just means we're done with the dirt. It's been a great trip, and some of the views were just absolutely amazing. Probably the best views I've ever seen in my life of just natural beauty. On the way home, we did see this very unique and interesting little motel. We had to stop. That's why we're out here, just to go wheel and see the sights. We explored the building. It was very interesting. I'm not going to show too much what's inside. I think you should go out, have your own adventure, see what's inside yourself. Well, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below, tell us adventures you have or places you want to go. Get on Facebook, share it, get out there, and just live the adventure of your life. Be safe. Hope to see you on the trail soon.